Alright, so I'm going to be doing a review of TMNT versus Street Fighter. This was another book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thanks once again, brother. I think Chris also told me that he's going to be sending me the Ninja Turtles Stranger Thing crossover as well, which will be cool. It's kind of nice to have some Ninja Turtle crossovers that are kind of branching out more. So, yeah. So this is the crossover I was excited to read. It was a... Oop, almost dropped that. Anyway, so this is a crossover I've been meaning to read for a while. I've been wanting to read it. I've been waiting for it to come out in trade, and it's really cool to see come out. This is done by Paul Aller and artwork by Ariel Mendel. Here's the thing, though. What did I think of this? Well, let's start with the story. The story is that the Ninja Turtles, and keep in mind, this is the first time in a Ninja Turtles crossover, I just want to bring this up. This is the first time in a Ninja Turtles crossover that we actually featured Jenica, the female turtle that showed up exclusively in the IDW books, and I'm sure will make her way to animation at some point. So yeah, the 5 of them have gone to Las Vegas to enter a Street Fighter tournament where they encounter the Street Fighter characters, but what they don't know is that the tournament is having its strings pulled by Shadaloo, who Bison has teamed up with Baxter Stockman, and they're basically harvesting warriors and their psycho power in order to create a super weapon from it. Does this all sound familiar? It should, because it's almost like it is 90% the Street Fighter G.I. Joe crossover. It is literally almost exactly like that. Just instead of Stockman, it's Destro, and a few things here and there. And just like that crossover, this crossover jumps in without, just basically throws us into the tournament and all that. I also like the fact that, like, the Ninja Turtles are just out and about, and no one seems to care. And it does do this thing where it's kind of in continuity with the current or should I say, previous Ninja Turtle timeline, because issue 150 is coming out this week, and that'll be the end of that, and we'll get to the Jason Aaron run. So, it is kind of cool to have the Turtles there. I will say that since you have 5 Turtles, I wish they had at least one more Street Fighter character, because when it says Street Fighter, TMNT, Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, it's really only these characters. I mean, you get cameos from other characters, and obviously you have Bison in here. But the thing is, when it comes to Street Fighter characters, it's only focusing on Guile, Ken, Chun-Li, and Ryu. That's it. It's kind of a mismatch, because we have Jenica here. If you're going to have 5 characters on the Turtles side, why not have a 5th character on the Street Fighter side to make it, an even amount of characters? Would it have been too much to have Cammy? Really? Would it have killed anyone to at least have Cammy on at the bare minimum Cammy? Or if you want to have something fun, because this misses out on some comedy gold with Michelangelo and Dan Hibiki. At least Dan, for the comedy value of Mikey and Dan teaming up. How much fun would that have been, honestly? But yeah. So, the crossover kind of does a lot, but doesn't do all the fun stuff. Like, Ryu straight up is a jobber in here. Like, I'm sorry. Ryu is a straight up jobber. The fight between him and Leonardo should be epic, but we don't get that. Why is it in these comics, in these Street Fighter crossovers, Ryu is like a non-factor or just thrown out immediately? Like the going back to the G.I. Joe crossover, we never get Ryu versus Ryu doesn't do much, and what he does, we never get him to see him fight Street Fighter, and he throws the match. Yeah, and then he's barely in the Street Fighter Darkstalker crossover. In here, at least he's a character, but he's more of a jobber. Like, this is supposed to be one of the greatest fighters in the universe. We don't get it. He gets his ass kicked in a fight with Shredder, and he's teamed up with Leo and Jenica, and he just gets taken out immediately. I'm like, what the hell is this? And yeah, the main thing is that Raph is the main focal point, because him and Chun-Li are harnessing psycho power, which I'm like, alright, fine. but I was like, why Chun-Li? Like, why focus, you know, like, Chun-Li is an intense character, but they basically write her as Raphael. And I'm like, she's not like that. She can be fun. She's firm, but also fun. I'm not talking, like, firm, you know. I'm talking, like, firm as a character. Like, she... so, it was just confusing to me that, you know, they did that with her character. The fights are just kind of fine. There's nothing really there. When Shredder does show up, the fight between him and Bison doesn't feel warranted. It doesn't feel good. Like, nothing feels right. That's the thing, like, this Street Fighter versus Ninja Turtles, this should be an epic story, but instead it just feels like I'm eating a mid-burger. Like I'm just eating a burger at Burger King, where I could be, you know, it's a burger and it tastes all right, but I'd rather be eating a burger from McDonald's or, you know, fucking, you know, Wendy's, anywhere else where the burger is better. And it should be better. This is a crossover a lot of people have wanted. And what we get is just mediocrity. And it sucks. The artwork in the face, especially in the face, is kind of all over the place. I mean, the artwork is fine, but it's just some of the faces just feel off, and character postures don't feel right in some places, especially during fights. All in all, I mean, it's cool that we got this, but like, it feels like we should have gotten more. It does have, like, 5 issues was long enough. It does kind of service that, but like 5 issues is decent enough. And it does do the thing that I always appreciate with these crossovers, where if you're going to do a crossover, you got to give balance to both characters, and thankfully it does that, even if it is them getting, you know, manhandled at one point or another by each character. Yeah. It's just kind of there. That's kind of the thing. It's just there. It's just a there crossover. So we have not gotten a good Street Fighter cross. They're not bad. There hasn't been a bad Street Fighter crossover comic, but they're all just meh. That's the problem, is that they're all just meh. So yeah. I still think if you want to go by the best Ninja Turtle crossover, it's the Power Rangers. It's the TMNT Power Rangers crossovers. Those are legit. Those two comics have been nothing short of legit, and I really can't wait to see the ending of that trilogy. But this, if you love crossovers and you want to see Ninja Turtles and Street Fighters, well, team up. Here you go. It's again something we thought we'd never get, but we did get, and here we are. But yeah, so thank you once again, Chris, for getting me this book, and yeah. You guys tell me in the comments below, if you read Street Fighter versus Ninja Turtles, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.